my Monday Night Raw review. This is my video will be like probably like an hour, maybe 2 hours. I have a lot to talk about here. Um, Now there was no CM Punk, but Rollins defends the world title against Jey Uso. Um, Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. My video is sponsored by JD from New York, Solomon the Sound Off, Fight for Pro Wrestling, the Post Wrestling, the Wrestling. I got more on the way to hit that like button. Thank you for watching. Make sure you all enjoy this video. We will go through on what happened on Monday Night Raw tonight. I will go through what happened on SmackDown on Friday with Randy Orton signed with SmackDown brand. Then we got the AEW Collision that happened on Saturday. We had Dragon Lee and Eddie. The Brian Danielson returns. And we got some news and rumors. The rumor of Brian Danielson firing CM Punk from AEW. Brian's vote no on CM Punk. Maybe maybe some serious troubles. Rumors of WWE heading to TNT and TBS. And we got some. Then we got Nick Khan and Triple H include behavior clause in CM Punk contract. We also have news and rumors of CM Punk versus Roman Reigns in the plan for WrestleMania. Massive change ahead. Oh wait, I think I already read that. Alright. The other news and rumors. Jade Cargill. Why maybe why for Jade Cargill? Oh wait, hold on. Seth Rollins defends against Jey Uso in the main event. Cody Rhodes responds to last week's attack against Shinsuke Nakamura. Also, next week we'll get Cody Rhodes and Nakamura in the match next week. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. We have Nia Jax and Shannon Baszler won about 10 minutes. Yeah, Nia Jax won 10 minutes. We got the Creed Brothers versus Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Dirty Dom. There was no Finn Balor, no Rhea Ripley tonight. So I think we'll see them next week. Now we also got Tegan and Natalia versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. And that was it. Here we go. Alright, hold on. Jade Cargill hasn't been seen. Jade Cargill limited training schedule at WWE Performance Center. Now, Jade Cargill currently training just 1-2 days a week at the WWE Performance Center. This is coming off the heels of Triple H's comments at the Survivor Series press conference, where he said in so many words that Jade's previous training left a lot to be desired, and it would take some time before she was ready for TV ready. TV ready. Alright. Punk had become what he hated most. Punk came out of the end. I hyped this up all. CM Punk dropping his first promo Monday Night Raw last Monday and reportedly getting his time cut. The story direction it could be leading and why he now becomes what he hated the most when he dropped his famous pipe bomb in 2011. If we are assumed that Punk again his first WrestleMania main event next year, Punk has effectively become The Rock. Yeah, he's doing what The Rock did. I mean, CM Punk had every right to be frustrated in 2011 when The Rock already had the main event locked up. But it's interesting that he now finds himself in a very similar position today that Rock was in back then, agreed to disagree. reports of CM Punk facing Steve Austin in WrestleMania 40. People hope, people had there's optimism, and people hope that Stone Cold might come back out of retirement for match with CM Punk in 2024. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it should happen. How is it? What they need to do differently than they did for the build up with Austin's match with Kevin Owens? And what would like you mean for Seth Rollins and the WrestleMania event? Well, let me tell you something. There is no reason for Stone Cold to be in the ring. We're not getting this match, and the match may not be that good. Unless you have a stipulation with entertaining, but no. How is it gonna be any better than what you did with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold? It made sense when Stone Cold came back and Kevin Owens and it all worked out. But no, we don't need a part timer, someone who is almost in his 60s to take a man spot from someone young, someone who deserves it. It might take away Seth Rollins, who is your main event WrestleMania. It might take it might take away Seth Rollins, harm Cody Rhodes. That was on AEW Dynamite. More injury woe for Tony Khan. That was Tammy said. I think I already talked about that. No more yeet. All right.
It's going to be. I mean, I'm sure it'll be. I expect the match to happen as soon as next week. I hope this ends with some type of clusterfuck disqualification, count out, something, because this deserves a little bit more time. And I don't think anybody would object to see them have a rematch. I know not everybody is thrilled with Shinsuke Nakamura and his current run. I was very surprised how many people were not into Shinsuke Nakamura feuding with Seth Rollins. Yes, it was very abrupt and at times it was forced. This is guy worked over Shayna for a while. Shayna started to make a comeback, hit multiple kicks, but then Nia bum rushed her. McIntyre, and it's like it really cemented this like in my mind after he beat the shit out of Jey Uso at the end of the show. But it feels like he wants to dethrone. He needs to dethrone Seth Rollins, and they need to do a Drew McIntyre walks out storyline. Monday nights with the man north of the border in Toronto, Ontario. He is over 20 years WWE veteran referee. He's a future Hall of Famer. The man refereed an Undertaker WrestleMania match.
Okada free agency. There was a fan jumped the barricade to attack Grayson Waller, and this was at a house show. Thank God we had security, where the fan was held back by the officer, and probably taken out of the building. The fans have no way of doing that.
Especially that main event. There is so much that I like on this episode of Raw that I thought I was going to be half-assed watching, and then I'm watching Raw, and I'm like, man, this is really good. Watching a great Monday Night Football game as well. Lots of great stuff there. I want to thank you guys, so many of you that donated to NAMI.org, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, for the match that I did with Shaz McKenzie at Black Label Pro this weekend. As of now, over $6,300 was raised from sponsors, donations, and the like. And I just want to tell you guys how much I really appreciate that. Fourth down! Thank you all for those who donated. Denise, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, have you gotten your Christmas presents?
So those were the YouTubers, those were the podcasters that I will go over. Alright, so let me show y'all what happened on Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. The show opened up with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. A very good promo. Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn took up the first 30 minutes of this show. Drew McIntyre slayed Sami Zayn deserved his bloodline beatdown. They talked about how Drew lost a class in the castle, that he was still crying and bitching about it. Sami Zayn didn't cry and bitching about when he lost in his hometown to Roman Reigns and y'all. But Drew McIntyre did. Drew McIntyre keep blaming the bloodline for not getting the job done. D2 had a pretty good promo. It was like a few minutes. Then they had a match. They went about 20 minutes. The match was very good. Crowd was invested. They chanted, "This is awesome." I think it was the opener and the main event. And I would say the tag team match with Imperium and DUI. I forgot to bring up that match. McIntyre continues his villainous and over the victory of Sami Zayn, hits him with a Claymore. Sami Zayn sold a knee injury in this match. And Drew McIntyre at the end hit him with a Claymore kick. Drew McIntyre won. Then backstage, Drew McIntyre attacked Sami Zayn from backstage, took him out. They're really building up Drew McIntyre's heel turn, and it's very good. I actually love this Drew McIntyre. We also got a Becky Lynch confront Nia Jax, so it looks like these two are gonna be feuding. There was no Rhea Ripley on the show tonight. She might be on next week. I think we will get Becky Lynch and Nia Jax feuding, and then we'll see who faces Rhea Ripley. They show the highlights of last week's return from CM Punk. Becky Lynch had unfinished business with Nia Jax. Nia Jax Nia Jax defeated Shannon Baszler in about 10 minutes. Becky Lynch came out. They had a stare down. The two are clearly going to feud. We got the Judgment Day. R-Truth once again invade the Judgment Day clubhouse. R-Truth is very entertaining, very good on the mic. It's very funny, entertaining, but it's not going to be as annoying. We got DIY and Imperium, 2 out of 3 falls match, and a very good match. DIY won the match. They're really building up DIY slowly with the crowd and giving them momentum, which I do love, by the way. I mean, DIY could be next line for the tag team titles. We got Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They beat Tegan Knox and I think they beat Tegan Knox and Natalia. I don't know, I forgot. I wasn't paying attention to this match. Let's talk about this match the better. This match went what, 5 minutes? I mean, who cares about the women's tag team title? We got Nakamura and a fantastic promo with Cody Rhodes. So far, I'm loving this feud so far. Nakamura said he needs to end Cody Rhodes' story to restart his. I'm loving the promo between these two. Nakamura is fantastic. He's awesome in the ring. He's a great heel. He had great promo. He takes the time with it. I love these vignettes that we've been doing. How it showed like the red light back there, and I love how we have the subtitles so you can understand it. So now this promo that Nakamura cut, he tries to compare his story to Cody Rhodes' story. Okay, both of these guys won the Royal Rumble. They went to WrestleMania, competed for the WWE title, and lost. Only thing that's different that Nakamura wasn't the main event. Cody Rhodes main evented. Nakamura wasn't the main event, even though his match was a letdown. Like it wasn't a dream match for him and AJ Styles. Anyway, we got the Creed brothers defeated Dominic and Jody Madonna. We got Chelsea and Piper feuding backstage. Seth Rollins wanted nothing to do with CM Punk. So there's some tea right there with him and CM Punk. I think we will get. I have a feeling that they may get that probably in January, like after the Rumble. They are teasing it. There's something being said right there.
Dream Ninja says,
That was on Raw Executive saying the 2 out of 3 fall. Alright. I probably gotta wait for more.
To go see Rhea Ripley.
Marie says, hello, Denise, always love the Raw recap. Well, thank you, Brie Marie. Question for Denise: how did you get into pro wrestling media? Very interested in starting my journey.
Oh man, that's so awesome. Well, just to give you a short answer because this is kind of a long question, but I basically got into it. I studied broadcast journalism at Cal State Fullerton, and I was going to do news, but when you want to be a news reporter, you got to start in small stations, and I didn't want to move from California to to go work in small stations, and my heart was set on entertainment, and so luckily I started working for free first to get some experience and just get some jobs. And so I started working in entertainment and I started doing wrestling because I had always been a fan and some opportunities came about. And then when COVID happened and all of the events pretty much ended here in Los Angeles, there were no more red carpets, none of that. I really dove into pro wrestling full time, and that was kind of what really was the catalyst to the boom, I guess you can say. Because like Sean, when I first started with you, I was still doing my full time entertainment reporting jobs before I was doing pro wrestling full time. Like I was literally just working twice a week in wrestling, which was your show on Monday, and then Tuesdays I was working with Sean. The other Sean, not this Sean, Sean Waltman on X Pac 1360.
Yep. Denise's journey is very cool, and she is a great template to follow.
All right. All right, hold on.
Kick off the holidays with an eggnog latte from Honeydew.
All right, hold on.
You think our stories are the same? Shinsuke, I appreciate you explaining why you attacked. We've had a similar path, but until you stand in this ring with me, I need you to know I don't rate you, I don't respect you. It has never been part of my story to run from a fight. You keep saying that we're the same.
That was a very good promo right there.
Giving these days. And everybody was thinking, obviously, CM Punk, myself included. And the crowd's chanting his name, and Drew McIntyre is like, I could be talking about anybody. And quickly, everybody in the comments was putting in there how, like, yeah, Drew too, like, talking about himself and stuff like that. So I think that was kind of like the biggest part that I took away from this is that it's clear that we are going to be getting Seth Rollins CM Punk first, but we do have, I don't know, I feel like there's a possibility here today from what we saw that they may be also planting some seeds for Drew McIntyre CM Punk down the line.
Also of note, I just refreshed the live events reports that I get access to. The Bengals gave that one up. Tonight's Raw in Albany, the highest grossing WWE event ever in the market's history. That is very impressive. Dalvin Henry says Drew's character is gold. It is, and the match was phenomenal. But
Yeah.
Apex says Cole needs to stop calling Drew delusional. He's not. I agree. You got to stop calling Drew delusional because then you start to look like the delusional one throughout that situation. And they had an incredible match. They sold Sammy's knee. They sold an awful lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
And then that ended up playing to Drew's favor. And listen, you can say he's a heel. If somebody gets hurt in a match, it's completely legal to go after that injury. Like, it's not against the rules. He didn't kick him in the nuts, rip a turnbuckle off, anything like that. He just attacked a weakness.
Although he did launch him into another dimension when he threw him into the commentary table.
Yeah.
That was freaking savage. But I think the best takeaway from this match was just like the pure aggressiveness that we were seeing. And it had been a while since we'd seen an opener this good on Monday Night Raw with two big stars that people care about, with a story that we really care about. And Sean, I don't know exactly where we're at right now with Drew McIntyre's negotiating deal, but damn, was this a good time for his character to get really hot and to be the talk of the town. Like, talk about some good timing right there. But I mean, this Drew McIntyre, like, just attacking the leg and then even doing so afterwards in that backstage segment. I mean, it was kind of the cherry on top to a badass type of heel that's like, I'm not done with you, bro. I like that. I like the savagery that Drew McIntyre was bringing.
K775 says, do you think they load up the January 1st Raw with Seth versus Drew and Becky versus Nia before we start to build to the Rumble? I think it makes an awful lot of sense because obviously they're not going to do those on the pay-per-view right now. Drew also attacked Sammy after the match. We'll talk more about what it was that he did at the end of the show. But I think it's a good idea to do that because they've got this big gap between even headline this weekend and the Royal Rumble. There's this big gap. That's why I'm like very excited that there's the World's End show at the end of the month because like there was a giant just void. And I'm thinking they do load that up because it's very clear Nick Khan had some sort of affinity for doing like a big end beginning of year show there.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like for me, like I feel like we've been having like 2 pay-per-views a month almost for like both companies, WWE and AEW. And it's funny because even though it feels like a little bit of a slow portion, it's gonna feel like it in January because we're not getting anything until the end of the month with the Rumble. And then Revolution's not till March, so it does feel like there's going to be a lot of February is going to be like dead. Wait, actually, no, there's Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
In Perth. It'll be a big one. Yeah. We got the Shayna interview. Nikki Cross spotted in the background again. What are you expecting to see out of Nikki, if anything, right now?
I feel like they keep stopping and starting things with Nikki Cross, so it doesn't really give me much hope because for a while, remember the last time we saw her? Oh my God, was it the Thanksgiving episode? I think was when they did the whole, or Halloween. I think it might have been the Halloween episode. Yeah, Halloween. It was when Chelsea Green was like spooked out of her mind when she lifted the thing and her head was in the table. After that, I kind of felt like during that period, we were seeing them do a lot with Nikki Cross where she would come out and just stare blankly. And now she's like not really even that much on the show. What happened? What did I miss? Sean, what happened?
Big fourth down. Yes Boy says, any interviews left on your all's wish list? Oh, I want to interview Sting very badly. I'd love to interview Lex Luger as well. Bryan Danielson, I was this close to interviewing Bryan Danielson.
I have so many.
Close.
I have so many. Let everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I would love to interview. There's many, but Sting, Lex Luger, One that I will never get to interview now because he's a little, a little older. Ted Turner. I would have loved to have interviewed him. Dixie Carter is one that I'll tell you guys the story about how I almost made that connection one day. But yeah, Final Fantasy Theory says, with all the ups and downs in wrestling and wrestling media, I've fallen out of love with wrestling. 30-year fan since pre-Nitro days. What should I do? Well, I'll tell you what you should do. You should open yourself up to more content. Buying pay-per-views on nordvpn.com/.
All right. All right, hold on.
Week. Do you think those fans will keep tuning in or stop watching WWE again? Do you mean lapsed fans in terms of Punk fans or what? But I do believe wrestling is maybe getting the attention of some former fans. I definitely think that's possible. I think word's starting to get out that pro wrestling is pretty good right now. AEW started things in 2019, giving WWE a little competition. And then once the Vince scandal broke, that
A 30-day.
Where was this show last week? I'll just blame it on Bruce. How about that?
The only thing that was good was the opener, the main event, and the tag team match.
We got a damn good show tonight, man. Pro wrestling.
What was it good? Maybe I'm going crazy because I don't remember what good besides the opener and the main event.
DIY Imperium.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Seth Rollins. Banger.
Those were the only three matches that were great.
Love the way that we got the open, the middle, and the end.
Yeah, but that's still not good enough. I'm sorry.
In between. I don't give a shit.
Exactly, I agree with JD.
Monday Night Raw, man, forwarding some stories. CM Punk wasn't there tonight. He'll be there next week. All in all, this Monday Night Raw tonight, man. I cannot complain.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're drinking.
it was only good because of the opener, the middle with the tag team match, and the main event. And that was it. Everything else in the middle was just the same old. Even Cody Rhodes.
But I will say 50% stays in New Japan. He paid money, didn't he?
put out and Raw was like at the headquarters, man, I'd stay away from the Northeast for like 4 months a year if I was WWE. But there they are, December, right there in upstate New York. Got to be cold as balls. But that's life. I'm way down here in San Diego, California on the beach. I ain't feeling no pain. But man, I can't imagine being up there this time of year. It's got to be colder than a witch's titty.
For that to happen. And that's a bummer because it looked like it was going to happen. It really did look like it was going to happen. Sean and Denise, in your opinion, what do you think is the most iconic spot in WWE history? Mine is TLC match.
I was literally about to say Edge. Yeah.
Yeah. Take your pick. The Edge spear or the big fall through the table to the outside off the ladder would be a really, really good one.
It's definitely the Edge spear because we've seen that God how many times, and then if not, then obviously Mick Foley off the Hell in a Cell. That's another one. I would say those two for me are the top.
That's a great one as well. Oh, good stiff arm from Jamar Chase. Bad spot. Bad spot. Boo. Jake Browning going to make a quarterback controversy in Cincy? Unfortunately, he can't. There's a lot of guaranteed money going to Joe Burrow right now. But Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. Listen, I got to say, every week I see Nia. She looks better physically. She is not hurting anybody. I would say so far this run is just vastly more successful than the previous run that we saw. In her conditioning, the match quality, like I'm not going to sit here and act like she's having All Japan Classics or anything, but I mean, the matches are better, the work is better, the work is safer. So far, I haven't seen anything.
What happened during the game? I hope he's going to be okay, but I saw Trevor Lawrence, and boy, Tony Khan, he can't catch a break. Well, I mean, he literally.
I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live.
Is for Nia Jax, for example, to become champion. I'm out. It's a hard out for me. I want to see them use Nia Jax to propel somebody else, and I'm okay with that. And the other part though is that I do find it just a tad bit boring though when it's pretty much just Nia Jax doing everything in the match and there's no offense really from the other person. And so I kind of struggle a little bit with that because I'm kind of like, oh well, I guess I don't have to really be paying attention to this if I already know how it's going to turn out. And so for me, that's been a little bit of a struggle. So I'm sort of 50-50 on this, where like there's moments where I'm going, you know what, I'm intrigued. And then there's other moments where I go, you know what, I'm a little bit out on this one. I think that I just don't want to see her like basically, I don't like seeing Shayna lose to her. I don't like seeing Raquel lose to her. I haven't been loving the idea of like basically eliminating all of these women to put Nia Jax over until hopefully the end game for this is good. If not, then this is just going to be kind of sucky.
Official review right now. Well, I mean, they're building her to face Becky, and it's mind-boggling to me because we saw Becky come out after this match. BB says, new to Fightful, love it. As a former journalist, I appreciate the fairness and balance. Now, Becky, Nia, I want the promos, not the match. You? I'm okay with the match. Listen, I understand why some people do not want the match. I completely understand that. But as I looked back, they never had that singles match, ever. They never did it. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, surely at some point in the journey, they did that. But they didn't do that at all. And I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, you know what? If they're doing that on the road to the Royal Rumble to set up Becky challenging Rhea down the line at WrestleMania, I'm completely fine with that. I trust Becky enough to pull something special out of this as well. And thank you very much for the very nice compliment.
Rollins possibly for the World Heavyweight Championship once again. Was it Kanye West? Fuck do I know, man. I don't listen to Kanye West.
I do.
Case, listen, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Why do you think they suddenly moved 1,700 tickets? Because people thought that Punk was going to be a Monday Night Raw, and so they came to the show tonight. I can't imagine the fans in Albany were very happy about that because they, in fact, did not get CM Punk on the show. But Nick Aldis on.
Go and search it up on Spotify and download it.
Or outside interference or something like that. Drew and Sammy and Jay and Rollins, both of these matches were set up to not have a finish or to not have a winner, and we got a winner in both. And that's good. That's one thing that I noticed tonight about those two big matches is that we didn't get any bullshit at all. And that's great. Now, after the match, I think we go to commercial. We come back. The doctors are checking on Zayn in the backstage area.
Him seriously in this Cody. This is merely something to do for Cody right now before we get to the Royal Rumble. But if Cody is going to win the Royal Rumble, he's an odds-on favorite, one of the odds-on favorites. It's either Cody or CM Punk right now. Flip-flop back and forth, depending on who you guys care for more. I think they are number 1 and 2, respectively. to win the Royal Rumble. If Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, or he's slated to win the Royal Rumble, I don't see why Nakamura can't beat Cody Rhodes. It's only going to end up going to WrestleMania anyway. Why beat Nakamura and then have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble? What good would that do?
Exactly.
I would love to see Nakamura beat Cody Rhodes. I would love to see Nakamura take Cody down a step or three. I would love to see Cody Rhodes actually do what he should have did, or I should say, let me rephrase this, WWE creative, what they should have did for Cody Rhodes, and that is give him a little adversity going into the match with Roman Reigns. That's all we wanted. Maybe that adversity starts with Shinsuke Nakamura. I have no fucking clue. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship, main event. A main event on Monday Night Raw for the World Championship. Seems like we're getting those a little bit more frequently nowadays. Not too frequent.
And he's going around beating them all up. Sounds like a heel to me. And it's been a lot of.
Very, very good. Matthew England says, is that our till 2025? The hell am I
Did you
going?
play Grand Theft Auto, Sean?
Yeah, of course.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, I've played it since literally the first one. It was a top-down 2D game. I played that. I played the second one, London 1969. I was very excited for when GTA 3 came out. I was a first-day buyer of that. As way too young to be playing a game
I
like
have
that.
an answer for this. I have an answer
ahead.
for the Yes Boys question about favorite thing to do while playing GTA games. So I'm not
Exactly.
really a video game person. Like, I don't care about video games. I'm just not a fan. But I used to play them as a kid with my cousin because I had FOMO when he used to play with my uncle, and I just wanted to be included. I was one of
Sure.
those kids. And I would finally cry and get a turn. And so my turn, I've never completed one mission in my entire life playing GTA. All I would do is drive around and play the music because they had really good songs, and then I would just run over all the people. Like, that's literally what I did. I never once completed one mission. I was just reckless.
I will say this: the missions are much more satisfying to complete now. Favorite thing to do while playing GTA games? I mean, usually just play the GTA games. If I've got time to play a GTA game, it's because I've got some free time.
I discovered so many good songs off of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, I discovered Royce the 5'9" because
Stay out of my way. Let me do my thing. I don't care about CM Punk. Yes, you do. He will eventually care about CM Punk. All in all, a great Monday Night Raw. We'll highlight the great tag team match with DIY and Imperium. The
Yeah.
Creeds continue to impress both teams. The Creeds and DIY continue to get over through work rate. I love when you got these fucking unintelligent geeks.
2023.
Where we sit right now, I feel like Drew's best avenue for his legacy and a Hall of Fame career just to stay right where he is, because even when he's in contract negotiations, he's still involved in top level shit. Assuming he hasn't resigned yet, he's working with main event guys. So, if they're doing this with him when they're not sure about
Starks in that last man standing match, or whatever match that was that he faced Danielson in, that was supposed to be CM Punk.
House of Glory.
Liars, hypocrites, cowards, idiots. But he was talking about Washington, D.C. They were in Albany. He was talking about Raw. He was talking about the Raw roster. He said everyone has lost their minds. You can be fired. You can be released. You can be fired. And then you can come back to the company and be instantly forgiven. And a CM Punk chant broke out. McIntyre said, I could be talking about anybody. It doesn't mean I'm talking about one person in particular. He recalled headbutting Seth Rollins. That was the angle they did in the ring last week, where he delivered a headbutt, and he headbutted the belt. So he busted himself open. But he talked about the headbutt, vented about Jey Uso and how he apologized to Randy Orton. McIntyre mocked him for tucking his tail between his legs and said that Jay's time is coming. McIntyre said he was forgetting someone. Oh, yeah, Sammy's.
for bringing that up.
Well, I'll tell you what you shouldn't be thinking of: big nasty pubes.
For this thing, man. It's kind of
2023 WWE.
It's going. Sammy said he thought he had a lot in common with Drew, but he's realized that they're nothing alike.
Sammy almost got hit with a claymore, turns it into the blue thunder bomb.
But I would actually much rather see Seth Rollins kind of go back to being the architect.
Yeah, so would I. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
I would kind of like to see CM Punk be the reason that happens. I would like to see CM Punk kind of drive Seth Rollins to that.
Yeah, he was
and-
a good Slayer. I mean, that was a good run. It wasn't horrible.
Man, when Seth Rollins was suit and tie with Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury,
Yeah,
that
that
shit
was
was fire, bro.
that was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. That was right after the Shield. Bengals won with a backup quarterback on the road. It's a great game. One of the best games they've had all season. Phenomenal. Yes, for those of you who are interested.
And tonight's show is
All right.
I mean, no shame in that. Losing to Danielson twice, no problem.
Over the announce desk, that
I'm
took us to get another commercial.
I'm just showing y'all the podcasters.
Stop on the floor and be so happy. I don't know why, but I would.
I want
Yeah.
Thorn in Your Eye back. That was my jam.
I just need something that gets the blood pumping, you know? Like really, really gets you in your feels.
Did Caden and Katana beating Tegan and Natalia get your blood pumping? Chelsea and Piper talked some trash and they were on commentary. What this match do for you?
It was all right. It didn't get my blood pumping, but
It's
it was
fine.
fine. It was a fine match. I was just happy that they were on the show and they got a match. That's literally my only feedback to this match.
I told people a couple weeks ago because somebody said, "Oh, Triple H hates Katana and Caden." I was like, "No, he doesn't. They'll get their push soon." What I hope isn't the method is whoever just lost their title shot then puts over the next team and it's a repeat. But hey, you're wanting to promote more tag teams. That's what we want to see. It's what we want. Denise, what did you just do off stream? Did you just do coke?
Yeah, I
You're
learned it from you.
sniffing.
Sha-
what do you want me to say? Call me up when it's 2025. Then I'll give you my real opinion. Ridiculous. Kevin Diaz says they made 3,000 dark horses. Man, I'm one of 3,000 people. Unbelievable. Love it. Can't wait to get in. We got a great promo to open the show.
Yep.
With Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
It's an ongoing storyline throughout the show. Drew McIntyre is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Love it. One of the more intriguing things about Monday Night Raw.
Drew McIntyre is awesome.
Drew McIntyre made his way to the ring. McIntyre gets in the ring, says, "It's been a minute since I've done this, but well,
Putting good wrestlers out there. But the difference is, a lot of times when AEW just puts good.
When they had their title match at Crown Jewel, there was a moment of weakness. There was a moment during that match where he could have had Seth, he could have capitalized on him, but he didn't do it. Seth was down, he's holding his back is hurting him, he had sympathy. Drew McIntyre says no more. There will be no more sympathy. There will be no more worrying about other people. Now he's out for himself. He's going to go in there, he's going to do whatever it takes, right? Again, it's all part of the transformation of this Drew McIntyre character. So no compassion, no sympathy. He doesn't give a damn. That was the point. So this was great. And we got a video package that aired for Jey Uso. Then we got a UK listener in the chat. So we got to say good morning to Josh. probably early morning, right? Where Josh is, what, 6 hours ahead, 5 hours ahead? Very early in the morning where Josh is, right? Everybody say good morning.
Sure. And now he doesn't want Cody to finish his story because Shinsuke Nakamura never got to finish his story. And not only did he not get to finish his story back then, he didn't get to finish his story most recently. So that just sort of made it fresh in his mind. He never won the big one. And he doesn't want Cody to ever finish his story. In fact, he said, Denise, that Nakamura is going to finish Cody's story for him. This was the greatest piece of promo work that I have seen Shinsuke Nakamura do in his almost 8 years in WWE. This was fantastic. I love this.
So I want to take a second and shout out whoever wrote this and the people that produced this segment, because however, I don't know how long it was, let's just say 3 minutes, whatever. In those 3 minutes, they connected all of the dots between Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody Rhodes, made you interested in this story, and made you completely understand what the problem is. You could literally have missed all of the other promos. Hell, you could have missed everything. You could have missed all of it. But the second that you saw what they recapped here tonight with the mist, with the showing his loss at WrestleMania, showing the Rumble win, showing Cody's loss at WrestleMania, his Rumble win, all of those little things, and just like that, you're completely caught up. And not only that, but you're also intrigued by it. This was the most successful segment that they have done for Shinsuke Nakamura in a very long time. Of course, I love the mist from last week as well. That was pretty cool too. But in terms of like the promos, this was really good stuff. And him saying, and then here's the thing, like if I'm Cody Rhodes, I'm going to be pissed off. You want to know why I'm going to be pissed off? Because now I got Shinsuke Nakamura coming in here trying to compare his story to mine and making fun of the fact that we were both humiliating. I don't want to be on the boat with that guy. If I'm Cody Rhodes, I don't want to be on his boat. Like, hell no, I'm pissed. So I like the fact that Cody Rhodes was, sort of insulted in this, because now not only do you have Shinsuke Nakamura's point of view from this, but now you also got Cody Rhodes' point of view from this. And so there was a lot of good stuff that they did here. And I now care about the story where I did not care about the story before. I care about it now.
I completely agree. I thought this was fantastic. For what appears to be maybe a short-term feud, because they're doing their match next week, whether it's short-term or whatever, they made me care about it. And Cody's really good at that. Like, there was a lot of stuff in AEW that he wasn't able to get me to care about. Like the Codyverse stuff, much of it I was not there for, but this stuff I am. I think they're doing a really good job with it. R-Truth, Broke Judgment Days TV. This is quickly becoming a favorite thing of mine, where R-Truth is just back there. This is where Priest revealed that both Balor and Rhea were not there. And he's like, you got to get out of here. And R-Truth goes, did you hear that, JD? They don't like you. Get out of here. So good.
Did you ever watch R-Truth?
Again, I ask, where was this match last week when the world was watching? When you had all those old eyes returning to watch Monday Night Raw in several years for the first time? To see CM Punk back in a WWE ring. Where was this type of match last week?
Exactly.
Great open to the show.
Yep.
This may be your WrestleMania match for both of these guys. Sami Zayn's going to be looking for some sort of revenge on Drew McIntyre. No better place to do it than WrestleMania. So Sami Zayn hits a big dive, go right to commercial break, big heel, and McIntyre, love it. It's coming out. I just love the vibe of Drew McIntyre, man. He's big, he's angry, he's nasty, he's a prick. Gotta love it. He went in for a charge, went right into the ring post, and Sami Zayn followed with a vertical suplex on Drew McIntyre, believe it or not. Zayn followed with the tilt-a-roll DDT. McIntyre responded with consecutive suplexes.
Shayna, I'm all yours.
They go to the
Yeah.
farm and he's got like goggles on.
Coming up next against Shayna Baszler. How many fucking times over the last few weeks have they done this? Right? We had, I think it wasn't Aaliyah locked in there once before, and then Shotzi locked herself out last week. And so now she's locked in there again. I wish they would take the writers of this show and they would take Vince and Bruce and lock them in a fucking room. Lock the door and throw away the key. Let Shanky book the show. It'll just be the dance-offs up and down the card. We'll have dance-offs all night long. We'll have Walter. Let's have Gunther go out there and he can dance. Every match, right? We'll have the Usos dancing. We'll have Roman Reigns.
Next challenger could potentially be. I don't know if Gunther's going to have a title match at the Royal Rumble. He doesn't necessarily have to, but since he's Intercontinental Champion, you know, shit. I would love for him just to defend and drop the title to Chad. Here's how, I guess in a perfect world, here's how I would do it. Just don't have Gunther in the Rumble at all. Or have
kind of irritated about, and it was mostly with the crowd. When Julius had Dominic Mysterio literally upside down in the freaking vertical suplex spot, I was so mad that the crowd did not pop for that because he literally held them there for like the world's longest time. And the crowd had like no reaction. I was like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, this is incredible. We need a little bit more of a reaction here. So that was my only like thing that I was irritated with the crowd about. But this entire match was really good too. I enjoyed it. It wasn't up there in terms of my favorites for the night, but it was still a pretty decent one though. I think at one point it might have been Julius who like lunged Dominic Mysterio into the table. I thought that was really good too. But man, that Brutus ball is quickly becoming my favorite finisher. Like I think it's up there right now, especially for like tag team finishers. It's my favorite one, and I almost hope that like I'm hoping for bigger reactions too. They go out there and they do these freakish things with their bodies. I feel like the Creed brothers deserve a little bit more of a crowd reaction because dang, like that freaking Brutus ball gets me every time.
It's great. Call me crazy says Dom has wrestled 100 matches in 2023, the second most. Yeah, because they leaned on him for.
My man, hold on. Hold on. My bad, hold on. Alright, here we go. I messed up. I am so sorry about that. I messed up.
And this deal they have in Japan is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
She stands out more than some of the other ones did.
Going in fact, when the match was over, they played Becky's music. Becky Lynch came out, and Nia quickly
By Lynn is going to be a very tall task for
Matt, I'll go back to you again. Is it like Carter Chance? Is it the same kind of thing where it's like the crowd still just isn't hitched? The WrestleMania match, Sammy and Drew, or Drew and.
The clutch rear naked choke. Suzuki and Joe have been using it for decades. Damn it, Sean. That's there to see that Jaguars lost because listen, If he's looking for a big contract or a big push, Tony's going to be mad now. So, like, you picked the wrong game, buddy.
Saxton speaks with Becky Lynch, and Nia Jax walks in and asks if you were referring to me last.
But like you said, that comment made afterwards by Dom, if I'm not mistaken.
Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere and attacked Sami Zayn, who was sitting on a production crate.
Those two women. Now backstage, we saw Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They were hanging around with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and they were wishing the two of them luck.
Tube TV, like old ass TVs. I've got one that I play Nintendo, and he's got it on the.
Came up with that idea, accidentally shot themselves in the foot. So, but
Very important we get through because Adam Pearce did something today that made me very intrigued. So we will talk about that. Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. We got another one from Darth Bane for $1.99. Enjoy.
I don't remember that many, to be honest.
No, and
Like I remember a couple matches, I think with Cross,
yeah,
and that's literally it. I
not a
remember.
ton, like less than probably 15. But I mean, they had quite a few in like July and August to help out. Oh boy, need a percentage. Here we go. Percentage of Mercedes.
Match at the Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Sami Zayn is the reason why McIntyre loses that. McIntyre's so obsessed about Roman Reigns and the bloodline and what they did to him to ruin his chances of reaching the top of the mountain. Sami Zayn is going to take that away from Drew McIntyre, just like now. Drew McIntyre took time from Sami Zayn. See what happens. Though I like it, not a bad decision at all. They cut to Jey Uso telling Sami he'll be all right.
And 5 says if it's Punk versus Rollins at the Rumble, do they do a non-finisher running back at Mania, or do they each have different opponents at Mania? Listen, if you can do Punk and Austin at Mania, you do Punk and Austin at Mania. There is no, like, you do it as soon as possible, especially if you can't get Rock Roman. You do Austin and Punk. I think that Punk should emerge not victorious in a title match against Seth Rollins.
You want him to have some what was the adversity?
Yes, he needs to work for it a little more. Is what
He
what
just
a whole
can't come
lot of
in and
people,
win.
What a whole lot of people said about Cody.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
And what I would like is that to be the catalyst for corporate man Punk.
Man.
Goddamn, I want corporate man Punk so bad because he would be so good at it. He would be so unbelievably good because people are going to call him a hypocrite no matter what. So why not embrace being a hypocrite? Just do it. Who gives a shit? I'll tell you what I give a shit about. Seth Rollins defeating Jey Uso in the world title match. I just love a big world title match on TV. And this match was very important because Jey Uso has never won the big one, but he absolutely showed that he.
And while holding tight, another Kaiser roll. Gargano kicked out. DIY finally hit their meat in the middle, and they picked up. So,
Is Rollins at 31 the last time we've seen that happen? Because
This wasn't as terrible
Yeah.
as normally would be tonight. Is Nia Jax an asset to the women's division? Absolutely not.
crowd into it, and that has not been the case with pretty much any of the DIY matches.
A jacked crowd, a WrestleMania stadium level sized crowd. If the Elimination Chamber is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Although that might not be the case because the match is going to probably determine a challenger. But if Rollins has a defense on that show or something and Priest cashes in there, it would be great if that closed out the show. Remember how I kept harping on that about Survivor Series? Oh, it's going to close the show. It's the last thing you see. That's where you want Damian Priest's win to come, is at the end of a show, to where the final image is him as your new champion to overshadow. Maybe Australia. Maybe Down Under. Did I say that right?
And then landed a guillotine leg drop. Wow. Sucks to be Shayna there, huh? Nia Jax is in control. We come back from commercial break. She landed a Samoan drop for a near fall. Baszler came back with a barrage of kicks, and Jax was on her knees. Jax made a quick comeback, collided with Baszler against the rope with a stinger splash. She then landed a running senton for a near fall. Jax dragged Baszler to the corner and set her up for the Annihilator Banzai drop. Baszler suplexed
Yeet like 2 years ago. Whatever they're offering, add 2 zeros to it. Oh yes. If I were, let me see. I don't know who the wrestler is that did that, but just sell it. For the love of God, just sell it. If you're WWE, yeah, that's something you spend money on because you're going.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, inside the Judgment Day treehouse, or clubhouse, treehouse, R-Truth was trying to get an old mini television. They turned around, there he was again. And he's trying to get this portable television to work straight out of 1995. Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, they were all very annoyed by this. Priest said that he thought McDonough was going to take care of it. That's what McDonough said last week. He said he was going to take care of the R-Truth problem. So McDonough told Truth, you have to leave. And Truth agreed, and he said, we should beef up security. Priest said, look, Rhea Ripley is not here tonight. Finn Balor is not here tonight. He gave Dominic and McDonough a little pep talk about their upcoming match against the Creeds. You could hear the fans in the arena. They were booing. They were groaning. And the moment that he mentioned that Rhea Ripley was not on the show, these people were not happy. Boy, this Albany crowd, let me tell you, this Albany crowd really, in some ways, they got the shit. I mean, they got a very good wrestling.
Ready, bro. You're not incredible.
But to launch Jey Uso into the stratosphere, and that it worked. He is a major star now. KE775 says, following up on percentages, what do you think the percentage is of Deonna Purrazzo as a surprise entrant in the Rumble? If I were WWE, I would hire her immediately. She left. Well, her and her husband left and showed they could be main eventers. And
more than that, she became the face of Impact.
Exactly. I'll tell you this, there's a 100% chance there's going to be an interview with her at the end of the month on Fight.
In this video,
We are extremely.
Jax, I don't know if they're setting this up for the Royal Rumble or if this is something we're going to get done in the month of December before we really start building for the Rumble. Because Cody's in the Rumble. He's already had that. So I don't see him doing double duty. I don't see them doing Cody and Nakamura on the undercard of the Rumble and Cody also in the Rumble. That would be weird. There's 8 fucking weeks until we get there.
Or so for Carter. Natty covered Carter, only got a 2 count. Carter came back with a boot.
Said, same. Don't let me down, bro. Kaiser was not happy about Vinci snapping back with the words.
can't believe Sean had it in him.
Against Imperium. 2 out of 3 falls. I thought this was great. Just looking at this looks like a black and gold throwback match. This is exactly what Triple H would book on NXT Black and Gold. The only thing that we're missing is the beautiful, I know, I was about to say it, I miss him too. The only thing missing from this match were the beautiful melodious tones of Mauro Ranallo. I know. Everybody misses Mauro. I miss Mauro. I love that man. 2 out of 3 falls here. I thought this was excellent. Gargano and Ciampa, a little bit of a struggle to get over on the main roster, huh? They're not really clicking with the. But the thing is, tonight, for the first time, I felt like we hit that point where we're finally starting to round the corner. The crowd was buying in to DIY.
Sitting here, WrestleMania 45.
Now, I want to address this and I'll address it very respectfully, Freddie. He says, if CM Punk can come back, let's give Tessa a second chance. Okay.
On as long as they continue the process. So, this match went 15 minutes. DIY set up Kaiser for meat in the middle. Vinci saved him by yank.
What the hell do you do? They'll be facing the same team every week. But they don't get a lot of TV time. Cody Rhodes was out to the ring. Addressed the audience. His people. Cody said that the first time we saw the poison mist, or that he saw the poison mist, he was a little boy, and it terrified him. And the mist came from the great Muta. Got a few cheers from the crowd, nothing overwhelming. People in Albany were not big great Muta fans. He said he should have seen it coming. What happened last week with Shinsuke Nakamura, that is, when he got misted in the face. Nakamura's been dropping hints for weeks now. Shinsuke, you have my attention. There's 2 things we can do here. You can emerge from the shadows, come to this ring, and you can explain yourself to me. Or you can march down here and we can fight right now.
Need to happen. Because Hogan holds no record. There's no record that Hulk Hogan holds. I would see people say that about Punk. Oh, they wanted to pass Punk's record. Punk doesn't hold a record. It doesn't hold a record. He just held the title a long time. Mid-Take says, loved your match this weekend, Sean. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Says, any Hall of Fame news for this year? Being in Philly, got to be a few ECW guys, right? Heyman possibly. They'll start reaching out to people probably next month about doing. I feel like, based on my experiences with Heyman, I think he would want to wait until he wasn't doing on-screen stuff anymore. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel.
I think it's nicer when you're done and retired to get that recognition. Is that just me? Like, Sean, if it were you, would you prefer for you to be like completely done and then get your Hall of Fame recognition, or would you still want to be active?
I think back to Terry Funk when he and Dory got it.
All right, come on.
Devil in your mind that whispers you'll never make it back. But now you have awoken me, and I am here to unburden you. Step into your shoes, take that story off your hands. I never got to finish my story, so now I will finish this. Cut back, video ended, they cut back to Cody in the ring. Lights came up, said he appreciates the explanation, and maybe they had a similar path, but he doesn't respect it. It's never been his story to run from the fight. You keep saying that we're the same. Prove it. That was the end of the segment. I actually I like that explanation. I like the way they explain the similarities between the two, the similarities between their stories, the parallels between Nakamura and Cody 5 years ago and Cody this year. Talking about how I never got to finish. So now I'm going to take yours away. And I'm going to finish it for you. Even though he kind of had that chance against Seth Rollins. And he couldn't do it. But he's gonna take Cody's story away from him. It's a simple story. It makes sense. I like that they actually do those parallels. And again, it gives Cody something to do. Although they've already announced the match is taking place on television next week. So if it's a one and done, and I don't think it is a one and done, I'm not even sure we're getting a clean finish next week. Then they'll have to drag it out to the encore. They'll have the encore maybe. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do the match at the Royal Rumble. I expect them to be in the Rumble match. So we can get a second television match maybe at the beginning of the year. I don't think next week is going to be the end all be all. But it does give Cody something to sink his teeth into in the meantime until we get to the Royal Rumble. There's still a long time to go before the Rumble. Almost 2 months. Just under 2 months left. And so he's already declared.
Other than that, I haven't really heard from him. Do you think I should be like
between them? And I think that's fine. It gives Cody something to do. And I'd much rather him have somebody to feud with, something to do, than him just come out every week on TV and talk about finishing the story. I thought this was well done, and I like the explanation. The backstage, Jey Uso asked Adam Pearce for an update on Sami Zayn, and Pearce said that they're still evaluating him, so there is no update. Jey threatened to go after Drew McIntyre, but Pearce reminded him, look, you've got bigger things to focus on. Okay, you're going to be wrestling for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Jey left just as Gunther entered. He had a big smile on his face, and he had some things to go over with Adam Pearce, so they went to have their discussion, and they cut away. They cut away before the best part. I wanted to know what Gunther had to say. Last we saw him on the show. We had the Creed brothers against Dominic and JD McDonough representing Judgment Day. This was the Judgment Day B team tonight. Brutus did squats while holding Dominic up in a delayed vertical suplex, and the crowd began to cheer. And I thought, wow, look at this right there.
an all-timer. And what I loved about that is I know personally that I have caused thousands of them.
In walked Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine. Maxine ended up lifting Tozawa and doing squats with Tozawa on her back. By the looks of it, I have a better squat than Maxine do. And by the way, I know a lot of people are hoping that Gable is the one to take down Gunther. There's a possibility that Gunther can wrestle Chad Gable at WrestleMania. Maybe they held it off till WrestleMania and they wanted the big payoff. Maybe they will revisit Gunther and Chad Gable. But as of right now, with segments like this, with cringy bullshit like this, with Maxine and fucking Tozawa doing the fucking dance, whatever he's doing, it's moving Gable further and further and further away from being a legitimate contender. Let's cut the bullshit and get Chad Gable back on track. R-Truth! He was hanging out in the Judgment Day's locker room. J.D. McRib.
I don't.
Handing out overhead suplexes, and he's kipping up after each.
7. That's the last year I really considered the Slammies being a real thing. Because other years they were trying to weave it into Raw.
Legendary for doing it. He's laid out on the mat. He kicks up his feet. And he pops up. Julius Creed hits a belly to back to Dominic.
Rain-X Water Repellency Wiper Blade.
Apply the magic of Rain-X to your windshield so water leaves out.
I think WWE.
Evaluating Sami Zayn. Jay says he's going to take care of Drew as well. Pierce says focus on Rollins. And then Gunther walks in and wants to talk about his next opponent. Pierce has got some ideas.
And that's how things are. They're putting some good foot forward, trying to keep you engaged. Again, when they're not doing they're not doing a December PLE, they're not doing a New Year's Day PLE. So so in terms of that, we have a while to go until it's a gimmick show, which is Rumble. So I feel like they at least are trying to give us some stories till then, and there's a lot of course stuff.
Oh, my bad. My bad. There was a uh, there's a emergency system. There's an emergency alert system. I have to wait until this ends. See how it's all blue? That's the emergency alert system on my TV. I have to wait till this ends so I can get back to it. Come on now. Come on. I hate when it does this on my TV. It's really annoying. I don't know why it does this. Finally. Jesus Christ, man. Why the hell did it do that? Alright, hold on. Alright. Oh, come on now. I'm getting sick and tired of this. It gets my nerves, really. Alright, finally.
Pierce explains, I've invited CM Punk to Raw next week, and I plan to sign him. Rollins just laughs off. I don't care. When it blows up in your face, I'll be proven right. And Jay walks in stating it's my night, and Rollins just gets serious. I'm gonna stomp your head.
With AEW, I don't really care about the war aspect. I don't care about the ratings. I know a whole bunch of
Who did that dive off the top rope to the outside and broke his ass. He was in the full blood of the.
Well, that's a good idea too, JT. You could put NXT talent on the main roster as well. But maybe they would be. I think everybody should just be off because
what I don't understand is why.
And let me do what I have. And he shifted his focus to his match with Jey Uso, who entered the picture at that point. Pierce left. And Jey told Rollins he respects him for giving him the opportunity tonight. He's waited nearly 15 years for this. He told Rollins he was looking at the New World Champion, and he asked him if he felt him. Do you feel him, sir? Rollins laughed and says, yeah, I feel him. Then he told him, I feel like I'm going to stomp your face into the mat first chance I get. Jey said,
So, he was in his ring. He didn't start with the usual, well, what do you want to talk about? end, man. My God. Rhodes said the first time he encountered poison mist was as a child, and he was terrified of the man who did it, the Great Muta. Great Muta mentioned on Raw. This is certainly the Triple H era. Huh? He said he seen it up close last week, and he realized his fears as a child, and they were justified. However, it was his own fault for not paying attention to the clues being dropped by Shinsuke Nakamura. He was focused on his greater aspirations because he reiterated that he is entering the men's Royal Rumble to finish his story. Nakamura had his attention, and he was ready. Rhodes invited Nakamura to emerge from the shadows and explain himself, or he could march to the ring and they could fight right now. I mean, sure. Let's do it. Nakamura appeared on the screen. Nakamura said he made Rhodes' eyes burn last week, but tonight he would open those eyes. He would show Rhodes what he wasn't seeing. The path they've taken is the same story. So we got clips airing of both men winning the Royal Rumble match. Nakamura won his WrestleMania match, or his Royal Rumble match, I should say, which led him to a WrestleMania 34 match with AJ Styles, and he lost to a dreaded Styles clash. Match was awful, overhyped as fuck, and WWE did AJ Styles and Nakamura no good at that WrestleMania. Then they showed clips of Cody failing against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39, and obviously Solo Sikoa was the cause for Cody Rhodes not finishing his story. Nakamura said they suffered the same humiliation and were left with pages unwritten. The devil in Rhodes' mind was that he would never make it back. Rhodes has awoken Nakamura, who would unburden him and take the story off his hands. Nakamura never got to finish his story, so now he is going to finish Cody's. They cut to Rhodes, who said their stories were not the same, even if they shared a similar path. Rhodes wouldn't respect Nakamura unless he faced him in the ring. If Nakamura thought they were the same, he should come down here and prove it. Now, I actually quite like this. I thought this was good stuff. You know, I said this last week. The Nakamura feud with Cody Rhodes gives Cody Rhodes something to do in the interim before we get to the Royal Rumble. Now, we're getting the first match next week. I don't know how many matches we're getting out of this. I would find it hilarious if this is a one-and-done match and Nakamura loses. I mean, who are you building up here? I know you're building up Cody. I mean, that's just fucking staring you right in the face. We all know Cody's going to WrestleMania. But what is Nakamura's value to the show? What is his creative? What is his plan for the show? Or on the show? Nobody knows. I don't understand. You like Nakamura too, right? The party's walking around. You hear her crying, you know why. She's not a Cody fan. She's not a Cody fan. But what are we doing with Nakamura? Like I said, we're getting the match next week. And like I said in the beginning, I would have Nakamura beat Cody. I would absolutely have Nakamura beat Cody clean. Now, why do you say that, JB? Well, theoretically, if you want to think about it, Cody Rhodes has already entered the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes is absolutely an odds-on favorite to win back-to-back Royal Rumbles. If Cody Rhodes is already going to WrestleMania, then why do we need Cody to beat Nakamura? Doesn't make sense. Nakamura is the one you need to build up. Cody's already built up. He's in the main event of WrestleMania. It's just not official yet. Now, what I would do is Nakamura beat Cody, and from this point on, I would have Cody start feeling that adversity. Everybody's coming for him. Start building up that adversity through different angles, different paths. Adversity coming at him in every which direction. I would have Cody take the long road to WrestleMania. I don't have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble. I don't. I don't think anybody wants to see Cody predictably win the Royal Rumble in 2024. I don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. And I know you don't want to see it. So don't even bother telling me, oh, he's the only thing that makes sense. No. No. CM Punk should win the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes should win the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, night 1, WrestleMania main event, World Heavyweight Championship. That is, of course, if we're not doing Stone Cold Steve Austin and CM Punk. Again, that really depends on where WWE is going into WrestleMania. Now, if we get Punk and Austin, then more than likely we're getting Punk and Rollins at the Royal Rumble. But I'm booking without Stone Cold Steve Austin because he's not really active. And there really hasn't been any clues or hints that that match is even taking place. So I'm booking with what we are seeing and watching on television. Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber, and CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. So again, I asked, why does Shinsuke Nakamura need to enter a feud with Cody Rhodes and predictably lose? Doesn't make sense. That would be booking malpractice, creative malpractice.
Exactly.
Now, there's a rumor going around that WWE is interested in signing Kazuchika Okada. That Kazuchika Okada is going to be a free agent. Legit. Free
The
agent.
fact that I can't bring the guy.
He will not be signed to Bushi Road. He will not be signed to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He will legitimately be free to do what he wants and wrestle where he wants. WWE lost out on Jay White. WWE lost out on Will Ospreay. WWE gonna lose out on Kazuchika Okada. Everybody thinks Kazuchika Okada is going to be signed to WWE. Great. Awesome. Do you genuinely see Kazuchika Okada on a WWE program? This is a guy that minimum wrestles 30 minutes. What do you want with Okada? Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to put him in the fucking ring against who? Tozawa for 4 minutes? What the fuck are you going to do with Okada on Monday night? Was he going to be on weekly television? Asinine fucking opinions today on social media. Now, granted, anything can happen. I mean, for the fucking love of Christ, CM Punk showed up in WWE after 10 years. He was just on AEW television back in September, and now he's on WWE television come November. And I know money talks, and I know the big bucks are going to be thrown at him to get him over here. But loyalty also talks. I just don't see Kazuchika Okada showing up in a full-time role on WWE television. I don't. I don't see what value that would bring him. He doesn't want to leave home. His wife is an actress or a voice actress in Japan. And that he's shown New Japan throughout his entire career. This man gave his body, his fucking heart, his soul to New Japan. Do you think it's going to be that easy to say, you know what, Bushi Road, I'm out, I'm going to the States. Goodbye. I just don't see it happening. Maybe they borrow him for a feud or two. I mean, I don't know. I don't see him wrestling full time. I don't see him signing at all. Loyalty. Yes, money is everything. Great. But loyalty in this case, I don't think that loyalty and that bond and that trust is going to be broken. I don't see it happening. Now, Nakamura could absolutely sign to AEW because they would afford him the opportunity to wrestle in New Japan whenever he so desired, just like Will Ospreay. But what does AEW need Kazuchika Okada for? Yeah, let me add another top-tier talent to an already fucking stacked roster where 50% of the roster is not even being utilized. You bring somebody like Okada in, you can't feature him on weekly fucking television. I don't know, man. It's a it's just a weird situation. I just don't see it happening. You know, I look at it, I read these stories, I see people and what they're saying online. Quickly, people are deleting tweets. Oh, Okada, he can't cut a promo, he's boring, he's blah, 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 all this other shit. People are quickly deleting tweets. Quickly. Just in hope that he signs with WWE, just in case he signs to WWE. But if WWE lands Okada, I mean, it's a huge long shot. I just don't see it happening. It's just, I can't wrap my mind around it. That would be like John Cena joining AEW. That would be like Roman Reigns joining AEW, right? Joseph Anoa'i signed, is now all elite with AEW. I just don't see it happening. It's a ridiculous fucking notion. Who knows why AEW brought in Okada? Remember that match that they had? It was not too long ago. I think it was Claudio and Brian against Okada and Orange Cassidy. Who the fuck knows why they brought him in just literally out of nowhere? Literally out of nowhere. Maybe that was a way, I would not be surprised if that was a way Tony Khan wanted to get Okada in AEW and show him exactly what he'd be walking into if he did indeed sign with AEW. It was almost like a, hey man, let me invite you to Dynamite, put you in this tag team match with Bryan Danielson, and I can show you around, man. This is what could be yours. Almost as a way to fucking engage in him, to show him, hey, look, this is what we.
Alright, hold on. Oh, never mind.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. I just don't see it happen. Maybe he wrestles at WrestleMania. Maybe is a fucking sliver, an eyebrow hair of a chance that Okada comes in and wrestles Nakamura at WrestleMania. Maybe. I just don't see it happen. But I like this feud. I think it's Cody something to do. Nakamura looked fucking great. They gave you an explanation. They made sense of it. You can't hate on it. Now, clearly their paths are not the same. Or their stories, I should say, are not the same. Their paths are the same. Their stories are not the same. And that's what Cody wants to show Nakamura. Yeah, you know, you could sit there and say our paths are the same, sure. But our stories are not the same. And my story is going to run right through you. Should be good. I just don't see why Cody needs to. Now, next week is going to be very interesting. I will revisit this next week, and I will say the same thing that I'm saying this week. Nakamura should not lose. If Cody's going to WrestleMania, why does he need to win? Doesn't make sense. Jey Uso asked Adam Pearce for an update on Sami Zayn. Pearce says he was still being evaluated. Jey threatened to go after McIntyre, but Pearce reminded him that he had bigger things to focus on tonight. Jey was well aware and was pumped for his match. Yeet. Gunther then walks in and approached Adam Pearce and said that they agreed to talk over some ideas about his next challenger, the Intercontinental Championship. What they're going to do, I don't know. But over on SmackDown, we got a United States Open tournament. Logan Paul will find his new number one contender via this tournament, 8-man tournament on SmackDown, which starts Friday. The Creeds. Tag team action against Dominic Mysterio and JD McFish. This was good stuff. Went 10 minutes. The Creeds, again, like Gargano and Ciampa, man. Work rate is getting them over. Absolutely. Good stuff. I wasn't a big fan of the Creeds in NXT, but I'm loving their work on the main roster right now.
Dr. Brophy.
You can rent all that you need.
Cartoonish video I showed of the Judgment Day in
And like, I don't know why they did this. I don't know why they did that. Like,
Mhm.
you're the alternative to WWE. Now you're.
Lions when it's time.
WWE and what they're doing. Different management, different company.
Claymore out of nowhere. Fucking lays his ass out. I'm wondering, okay, is he going to go after Seth? Because obviously the goal is Drew McIntyre gets the rematch with.
You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, unless, of course, as I did, much as most people see. Let me know. One thing I want to mention to all of you, thought you enjoyed Raw as much as I did, as much as most people see. Let me know. One thing I want to mention to all of you before we very good episode of Monday Night. Nearly 1,000 votes in. Go ahead and vote at Solomons. Let me know if you thought Raw, if you enjoyed Raw as much as I did. Most people. So let me know. One thing. Because you know that we're headed for an Uso versus Uso match at WrestleMania, so you circle back around to that at the Royal Rumble. That's where they should be. The match at the Rumble should be one-on-one for the World Heavyweight. There really shouldn't be any question about that. Look, the outcome tonight may have been the same for Jey Uso as it was against Roman Reigns, but he should take solace in the fact that the match he had tonight for the World Heavyweight title with Seth Rollins was a hell of a lot better than the match he had at SummerSlam. And it was. This was an excellent main event tonight. 2 hot matches, both to open and close the show. We had some really good tag team action in the middle of the show. We had the Cody and Nakamura segment, which I liked. So overall, this was an excellent episode of Raw. It was quite the turnaround from last week's show. A 180. Amazing. It should be like this every week. And that's without some big names that we're missing from the show. Punk will be back on the show next week. But he was not on the show tonight. It did not affect the quality of the program at all. Let us go ahead here. Abu Sika.
The next 5 weeks of the regular season, and then all through the playoffs. No matter what city they're in. Great market. Dom shoved Julius off the apron, and JD McCafe wiped both.
All right. All right. Now let me show you the end of the show here. I think I was on, I was on that one. I already showed you that one. The Creed Brother beat Rey Mysterio and JD McWidow. JD McFist. I'm just kidding. McDonough. And a pretty good match. Seth Rollins want nothing to do with CM Punk. Drew McIntyre I'm going to like Jey Uso after a phenomenal match for Seth. Instant classic.
That is definitely.
Alright.
Welcome to today's site. Story.
Barkley, brother.
Oh, what the hell?
I don't give a damn. All right, you do what you gotta do. But when he shows the world his true colors, and when this blows up in your face, you do me a favor, all right? You stay out of my way.
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's just about taking a whip with a better than Frosty.
I gotta ask. Hello?
Hi.
Mind if I sit?
And now get 20% off the Vince app through the plus.
Enough of these damn commercials.
Another great new ball. Jake went for another spear. But Rollins,
Are that might have been 96. Of course.
Me. So I just want to throw this out there. Gunther should actually not drop the belt at all, unless it was Chad Gable, and that's mainly because I have a very strong liking for Chad Gable. But other than that, I would rather have Gunther just vacate the belt,
Make it
or the
seem
World
legit.
Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Cash it in, option C, that type of
Yeah,
thing.
go back to TNA.
You know, I think it's a lot better than Samoa Joe vacating the ROH.
The ROH. Yep.
Street CM Punk making his UFC debut. If anybody remembers El Unic.
Rollins then did follow with the curb stomp, and that was all she wrote. For Jey Uso, 1, 2, 3, Rollins retains the World Heavyweight Championship. He shook hands with Rollins after the match. Jey immediately exited the ring. As Jey was hunched over on the outside, he was leaning on the commentary table. McIntyre ran in out of nowhere wearing a black hood, flew in and dropped him with a Claymore pin. Rollins tried to dive onto McIntyre to save Jey Uso, but McIntyre caught him and overhead suplexed him on the outside. McIntyre then slammed Jey through the announce table. Crowd booed. McIntyre grabbed Jey by the head and told him that the truth would set him free. I like the way Monday Night Raw went up the air. McIntyre won in the open. He took out Sammy. He beat Sammy. Sammy was written off television. Then he shows up in the main event. He targeted Jey Uso for getting the title shot because he believes he deserved it. Rollins tried to save him. He beat the shit out of both Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. That's why Monday Night Raw came through. Now, I mentioned before, I see a lot of people making discussions about what the Royal Rumble championship matches should be. Let's have a discussion. Normally, when I sit down and do these types of fantasy booking scenarios, they are simply fantasy. Okay? I tend to try to book what we see on television. Yes, we all sit here and do it the way that we think is best. But I truly think that this way is best, okay? A lot of people tend to think that 2 championship matches at the Royal Rumble are going to be Rollins and Punk, and Reigns and Orton. I would not do either of those matches at the Royal Rumble. Those are legit. Both of those matches are legit WrestleMania matches. Legit. Why do we need that type of undercard on the Royal Rumble when you have over 2 hours, 2.5 hours, give or take, with a men's and women's Royal Rumble match, which is the primary reason why we're even watching the Royal Rumble and why we're interested in the Royal Rumble in general? Why do we need to do those 2 matches? I don't really understand that logic. Rollins and Punk is not a Royal Rumble undercard match. It's not. It's a WrestleMania main event night 1 match. It could main event any fucking show on the entire planet. Anyway. Now let's put it on the undercard of WrestleMania or Royal Rumble and not put it on WrestleMania. Doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
The only way that Rollins and Punk happens at the Royal Rumble, and I mean this is another slim to none opportunity, is if WWE legitimately has Stone Cold Steve Austin in the back of their fucking pocket and they got Punk and Austin signed for WrestleMania. But then you run another problem. What exactly is that problem, JB? It's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. If Stone Cold Steve Austin and CM Punk is at WrestleMania, then it's undoubtedly going to headline night 1. And then you are going to leave Seth Rollins and the World Heavyweight Championship out in the dust to open the show on night one. Seth Rollins has never had a main event WrestleMania match either. Yeah, let's bring CM Punk back to the company after 10 years, give him a marquee match with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and put him in the main event of WrestleMania. And our world champion who's been there on the road, fighting every single week, every single day, has made this championship feel legit. Let's put him on the open of WrestleMania. And the one guy that he didn't want in the company, we'll give the main event of WrestleMania to against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Do you know how fucked up that sounds? That sounds ridiculous. The only way Punk and Rollins happens at the Royal Rumble is if they have Stone Cold Steve Austin in the back of their pocket. And right now, nobody knows. Austin's been quiet. The rumors have been running wild. Yeah, it's a dream match. People are digging up fucking 2014 clips of whatever WWE 2K game it was. 2K13, 2K14, whatever the fucking case may be. That sit-down promo with Jim Ross was fucking incredible. The fact that we didn't get that match then. Do you really want to risk the Stone Cold return again? I don't get it. Like, I get it's a marquee match. I get that Punk wants it. I get that Austin may want it. But when Steve Austin wrestled Kevin Owens, how old is he? 58 years old? No matter how great he looks, no matter how well the match turned out last year, do you really want to run the risk of having it fall flat on his face? Austin's going to be 60 years old. He got away with it then. We should keep it there. WWE doesn't need guys like Austin. They don't. I'm tired of the bullshit. Yeah, great. It's a marquee match. Great. WWE's going to make all this types of money and PR and all this other shit. WrestleMania is sold out already. You're not adding Stone Cold Steve Austin to a show to sell any extra tickets. The shows are already sold out. WWE doesn't need any smoke and mirrors to sell at WrestleMania anymore. Look at their roster. They don't. WWE can more than anybody book a great show without the need of Rock and Austin.
I don't do that. I don't.
Retired for 19 fucking years. And he decided to come back against Kevin Owens. Now you want him to come back again? What made him out after 19 years in the first place? Steve Austin doesn't seem like the type of guy that wants to tarnish his legacy. Does anybody remember Saudi Arabia with Shawn Michaels? Triple H, who blown his fucking peck out in the match against Kane and The Undertaker. One of the worst matches in the history of WWE.
Yeah.
All for the almighty God.
Yeah.
You don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin has that in the back of his fucking mind? I don't want that to be me. I'm lucky I got away with what I got away with Kevin Owens. And that wasn't even advertised as a fucking match. It was a KO show that led to a match. Punk and Rollins should not take place at the Royal Rumble. Night one WrestleMania main event. Rollins deserves it. Punk is only there for the Rumble. Randy Orton and Roman Reigns should not take place at the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton and Roman Reigns should take at Elimination Chamber. Now, he's not advertised for that show as of right now, but things can obviously change. I think Randy Orton in front of 60 to 70,000 people in Perth, Australia, in a big stadium setting, is a great moment for a championship match against Roman Reigns. Reigns and Styles, easy. Styles should be back any week now. You build Reigns and Styles for the Royal Rumble. Great. Rollins and McIntyre for the Royal Rumble. Great. Both will be great matches. Both are what I call solid undercard marquee matches that will not take away from the Royal Rumble. Why are you going to blow your load in one shot to start your first PLE? That is not the way to go. AJ makes sense against Roman, and McIntyre makes sense against Rollins. Figure it out. Figure it out. Then you got the Royal Rumble, the 2 Royal Rumble matches. Maybe we get a Women's Championship match on there, and then we are all good to go. Or a tag team title match, and we are all good to go. Those matches don't need to take place at the Royal Rumble. CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins night 1. Cody versus Roman night 2. And then you flesh the card out as you see necessary. Gunther. He's been my number 1 to win the Royal Rumble. Clearly, with Punk back, that is now going to change. Punk has drastically changed and altered things for the Royal Rumble. Yes. Gunther was my number 1. Now, Gunther's probably not going to win the Royal Rumble, and he's not going to be getting a World Championship match at WrestleMania like we all anticipated and predicted. So you're looking at those 2 mega main events for WrestleMania. What do you do with Gunther? You could do one of 2 things with Gunther. Number 1, you could build Chad Gable back up to be a legit fucking badass and take the title off of Gunther at WrestleMania. Or, if WWE doesn't want to go that route, which I don't know why they wouldn't, because they've actually told that story and made Gable cut a promo that he's going to vow to take that title off of him because of what Gunther did to his daughter, making him cry. Or making her cry. So that is there. They can tell that story. Do an Iron Man match of sorts, 30-minute Iron Man match, good to go. Gable wins the fucking title. Gunther won't even fucking feel it. He won't even feel it. Losing the title will mean nothing to Gunther. Or you do Gunther and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar going into the Intercontinental Championship basically would be on nobody's bingo card for 2024. He don't give a fuck about the Intercontinental title. He wants the streak. He wants the reign. Gunther, all he needs to do is come out and say, yeah, I'm beating everybody. There's nobody left for me. Oh, yeah? How about me, big boy? Gunther's already claimed that Brock Lesnar is his end boss, his final boss. Imagine Gunther beating Brock Lesnar for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. And then on the following Monday, he says, I'm done. He puts nobody over. He remains undefeated. And we have a tournament for the Intercontinental Championship with Gable then winning the fucking tournament. Then we get a smooth call-up from NXT. Maybe we get a Braun Breaker in there. Maybe we get a Carmelo Hayes in there. Gunther doesn't need to lose. In fact, if I'm booking this thing, Gunther's not losing, period. Give up the title. Tournament to crown a new champion. Gunther goes on to win either Money in the Bank or a returning King of the Ring gimmick. Either one would suit him fine. Either one would suit him perfectly. Money in the Bank, fine, great. It's a believable win. King of the Ring, even better. One of the best pro wrestlers on the planet, winning King of the Ring. Then he cashes in against whoever the champion is on Monday Night Raw in an honorable way. He doesn't come in and sneakily cash in a contract or anything like that. Like a typical heel would, he hands it in honorably. I'm cashing this in on this day for this show, and I'm taking your title. Because that is what a real pro wrestler would do. When that happens, I don't know. Bash at Berlin, SummerSlam, figure it out. Figure it out. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio. Logan Paul and Kevin Owens is more than likely taking place at the Royal Rumble. Logan Paul and LA Knight for the United States Championship. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they should be in contention for the tag team titles going into WrestleMania. I love the makeup of that team. Bayley versus Io, if you want to tell that story for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the Monday Night Raw Women's Championship. What do we do with Charlotte? What do we do with Bianca? I don't fucking know. They'll probably be inserted into their championship match. Io, Bayley, Charlotte, Bianca, make it a fatal four-way. Do you believe that Charlotte and Bianca are not going to be in a fucking title match at WrestleMania? I mean, like, the sky is fucking blue. There's a couple of certain things in life. Death, taxes, and Charlotte and Bianca Belair getting a fucking women's championship match at WrestleMania. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. What John Cena does at WrestleMania, I don't know. They could put him against Solo Sikoa, get his win back after he lost the crown jewel. What Randy Orton does at WrestleMania, I have no fucking clue. No clue. Maybe we do Randy versus John Cena. I have no idea. But WrestleMania, I mean, just based off what we've seen so far on television, it's easy where they're going with these matches to flesh out WrestleMania. We don't need 18 matches, 19 matches like we were getting. A solid 7-match card each night is more than fun. McIntyre and Sami Zayn, I could see being another undercard match on WrestleMania. There's a lot of things that we still need to figure out. But the way things are going, a lot of people are talking on social media, yeah, Rollins and Punk at Royal Rumble. No. No. It's not a Royal Rumble match. It's a WrestleMania match. No big championship matches like that should ever take place at the Royal Rumble. Only under very rare circumstances. Reigns and Orton? No, let's do that at Elimination Chamber in front of 70,000 people. That's what you do. That's what Orton deserves. Seriously. And it's the World Championship. The biggest prize in the company. Make it feel like it. Punk wins the Rumble. Cody wins the Chamber. Boom. Easy. Very, very easy. I don't know why we got to make things different. But after tonight, on Monday, to close Raw, certainly looks like McIntyre is eyeing Rollins and another rematch because he didn't get it because Rollins gave it to Jay. McIntyre thinks it belongs to him. I think it belongs to him. They had a great match at Crown Jewel. Let's do it again. It was the match of the night at Crown Jewel. I don't know why you would not want to do that again at the Royal Rumble. Thank you guys very much for joining me on tonight's Monday Night Raw post show. I really appreciate you guys very, very much. Follow me at JD from NY206 on Twitter. Or X, whatever you guys are calling it. Also available on Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Thank you guys for the love on Cameo, man. We fulfilled a couple of cameos this week. You guys need anything?
Alright, it looks like that's it. I might want to end the video. Been about 2 hours. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more. I'll see y'all later. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Been doing this today, dude. It's like Michael Jordan flu game, bro.
Dude, swear.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just trolling. But
Oh, wait.
and for everybody that came through in the chat and dropped super chats and new memberships and all of these different about her returning, bringing up the
Blue Chew, man. Gentlemen, it is now time to pick. You got that hold of that Triple H long-term.
Yeah. my vote in the video. I'll see y'all later. Hit that like button, leave a comment.